Hi, welcome to the next video in our Tech Founders series. I'm Nina Ryan from our commercial and technology team at Leeds Prior, and I'm here today at the Enterprise Centre to see Safepoint. Let's go!
Hi, I'm Callum, CEO and co-founder at Safepoint.
Thanks for joining us today, Callum. Thought it'd be good to just have a bit of a chat with you about how Safepoint got started.
Yeah, so Safepoint is a web and mobile software as a service platform, and it's designed to help businesses meet all of their compliance, but at the same time protect all of their loan workers to keep the safety of their employees. It all actually started at Sync the City in 2017.
It did. That was where we first met.
Yes, yeah. You were the competition.
Yeah.
But no, that was a bit of a hectic one. I remember it was kind of a very different idea when I first started that, because it was, you do that 1 minute pitch at the beginning and it was like, it was either going to be a B2C thing or a B2B thing. It was like, I don't know which way it's going to go. So that's the first time I met a lot of people on the team, especially Nick. I remember Nick coming over going, "Oh, hi, I'm Nick. I want to join your team." Shaking hands. Like, okay.
Had lots of them interested in the idea from the start then.
Yeah, it was mildly chaotic. The team is exactly spot on. It's exactly what we need, which is brilliant. We don't actually have to really outsource anything, which is...
You've got all the skill sets within the six of you.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a scary thing for a lot of startups, in the sense that if you don't have the marketing person or the design person or the engineers, then you've got to push that out to somebody else, and that's always a bit of a scary risk when you're starting something. But luckily for us, we can all just kind of jump on board with almost anything we need so far.
So do you want to explain a little bit more about the product and how it works and what features there are?
Yeah. So it's a web and mobile platform. What we're trying to do is really modernise health and safety. So there's so many platforms out there nowadays that are either bespoke hardware devices, which they're technically good products, but they cost a fortune. They need like 2 to 3 year contracts. And if you're a small business, you can't commit to that. You can't commit to that at all. The other options are things like mobile phones or walkie-talkies. But the problem with them is you can't make that call if something goes wrong. So they don't really solve the problem of safety. So what we are trying to do is make loan worker safety completely accessible. Easy to sign up to, affordable. So if you're a big corporate, fine, you can use it. But if you're a family business of 3 people, you can also use it. There's no barriers to entry there. So hopefully we can open up the safety market to thousands more businesses and help thousands more people.
I remember in your original pitch you had a case study that you'd looked at. Do you want to sort of explain a bit about that?
Yes. So the original story, and we still use it nowadays because it's quite a powerful story to make people understand it. And that's the story of this guy called Rob, and he worked for a company in the west of England, and he was a loan worker and an engineer. And he essentially went out to his job site. He was on his own. He slipped, he fell, he knocked himself unconscious, and he did sadly die. But the really scary part about that story is that nobody even knew anything had happened for over 4 hours. It was actually
It's a really long time.
It's awful. It was actually his wife at the end of the workday that called into the company and said, "Hold on a second, Rob's not come home." And then they sadly went out and found him dead at the job site, which is just an awful story. Yeah. And then the business themselves would find millions of pounds because of it, because they just had nothing to meet all this compliance. So I think that is a story we tell to really show people that this is a problem, and it's a problem that needs solving.
So what would you say your biggest challenges have been so far then in the process?
So we've probably had a few quite big challenges. The first one is obviously the big technical challenge, building this entire platform that needs to be scalable. It needs to just work. We want it to be self-serve, which is pretty scary because it just needs to work, especially being a safety platform. So we've brought it twice up until this point. So we built it ready to kind of go last October. So at that point we made quite a big decision to not put it out at all, and just basically rebuild the whole thing. So now we've rebuilt the entire platform, the mobiles, JavaScript and cross-platform, the back end and the front end are all JavaScript. So every single part of our platform is all written in the same language, which is brilliant because we've got 3 engineers on it and they can all work on every single area of the platform now. So that has put us back considerably. So I mean,
Time-wise.
yes, it's June now, and we were reasonably ready to go last October. It was a big hit, but I feel it's something that we kind of had to accept that we were going to have to do at some point, and it was much better to do that when it wasn't live, because that would have been 1,000 times harder.
So you've obviously started working here at the Enterprise Centre reasonably recently. How are you finding it working in the co-working space here?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, I absolutely love the co-working space, because before we were just working in our living rooms on sofas at home, and it gets a bit isolating. Whereas now we can come in, there's people around us in the co-working space, which is brilliant. Not only just socially, but they also do things that kind of complement our business. So we're sitting next to someone that works in the social care sector, and that's obviously an area that is big for us.
Yeah.
And that's given us kind of some roots in and some ideas into that sector that we wouldn't have found out without working here. And it's brilliant as well, the fact that we're kind of funded by UEA, and we're on UEA's doorstep as well. That helps a lot, because we get to work with them on a lot more events, and it's just a general nice building to be in. It's right on the doorstep.
It's very
of the park.
impressive, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's just a lot of space. There's a lot of space to kind of grow if we want to grow, because they've got the bigger offices downstairs.
So what would you say have been high points for Safepoint so far then?
So a lot of the high points have come this year, really, from getting the investment through UEA, moving into an office, having our kind of own space, and things like coming through the Investees program. So we've recently come off that, and we actually won Best Pitch there alongside another company, which was brilliant news. We got a nice little trophy for that. It's nice that we've been working for so long on it, kind of keeping relatively quiet and just going to network events here and there. And now, once we're kind of starting to put the news out a bit, we're getting some recognition for it, which is brilliant. It's nice to build something, have something pretty much there, and for people to say, that's good. This is actually something that I can understand the need for, and that is going to help people.
And that's before you've even launched.
That's it, yeah. So the next big exciting thing for us is getting it out to people and actually seeing it in real life, helping people out and making people's lives better, because that's essentially what we're trying to do. We're making the businesses' lives easier, and we're making the employees' lives safer and better.
And have you got any tips for anyone else that's looking to start up their own business? Because you've done it right from scratch.
Yeah, tips. It'll take longer than you expect. Definitely. If you think it's going to take you a month, it'll probably take you 6. But I think it's just getting started. Just getting started, finding that time here and there, whether it's an hour or an evening, because that's all we had to begin with.
Yeah.
But it quickly snowballs into something. It's just finding that time and putting those hours in, because that's what makes the difference. Yeah.
Thanks very much for your time today, Callum. It's been great to speak to you and hear what's going on with Safepoint. And good luck with the launch and everything going forward.
Thank you.